On Sunday, we hit this portion of the Sermon on the Mount where Jesus is talking about the law. And he says, I have come not to destroy, but to fulfill the law, to complete it. And one of the things we have to understand about Jesus and about the Jewish culture of the day is that the law came in two parts. There was the written law and there was the interpretation. Rules don't mean anything until they're interpreted for a particular time and space. That's how we actually honor the law, is by understanding the meaning and the intent behind it, and that constantly needs to be interpreted. So this is really important for how, as followers of Christ, we understand the law, what it's for, how we interact with it in the light of Jesus, but it's also really important for our personal lives, because we all have personal laws, rules and guidelines, a vision for our lives and how we want that to unfold. If you haven't thought about that, it's probably a good exercise to think about what your rules for life are. But even those rules need to be constantly reinterpreted. As seasons change, as circumstances change, it may mean different things for you now to honor the intent you had behind those rules. Now, I'm learning this really well right now as a parent. We have rules in our house, but they are constantly being bent and broken, even completely rewritten as our son gets older. And far from being bad parenting, this is actually what it means to be good parents, to understand that our son is growing and the intent behind the rules needs to change and modify and grow with him. Well, it's the same thing for you. You may have set certain rules in place at one point in time in your life, and maybe they need to be reinterpreted. Not because you've forgotten them, not because you're abandoning them, but because maybe now that intent needs to be expressed in a new way for a new season right now. And this is part of actually how you honor that vision that you've had for yourself. That you give yourself the space to bend and break and rewrite and reinterpret those personal rules that have guided you and brought you to this point, because maybe they need to be reinterpreted for a new season as you head forward. So honor where you've been, honor where you're going, but do that by remembering the intent and the vision you had behind your personal rules. What was it there for, and how do you best accomplish that now as you move into a new season in your life?